Hello and welcome back. I'm Mike.
And this is Aiden.
And today we are doing a deck profile of Aiden's. And what is that?
It's Gem Knights.
Gem Knights.
Before people hate me, I know it's degenerate, but it's people hate those FTKs in YuGiOh, but they're so fun to do.
And this is one of them.
And this is one of them.
Yeah.
But it's a fun deck to play, and it's very combo heavy. But let's just get straight into it. First off, 3 Gem Knight Lapis. So you need this card to make one of your combo pieces with Lapis Lazuli, which essentially gives you the FTK. So you don't have to run 3, but I feel that consistency wise, if you draw it, you don't have to search it. So that's why I ran 3 of that one. 3 Gem Knight Tourmaline. So I'm running 6 of the normal monsters, which can be bricky sometimes, but you have other uses of getting rid of them from your hand, searching them, however you want to do it. Tourmaline over Garnet, because yes, Garnet has a 1900 beat stick, but Tourmaline's fusions are better than the ones that Garnet makes, so that's why I use him. You could bump this down to 2 in all honesty, but I just like it at 3. 3 Gem Knight Lazuli, so this card's amazing. So it's basically like a monster reincarnation for the deck. When it's sent to the graveyard, you get to add 1 normal Gemini monster back from your graveyard to your hand. So again, you can recycle your sort of resources and then get more fusions and more special summons off, which is the whole point of the deck. Probably the best Gem Knight monster, I'd say. Gem Knight is Obsidian. So if he's sent from hand to graveyard, it has to be the hand, unfortunately, not like Lazuli's effect.
Oh, man.
It does suck sometimes. You can special summon a normal Gem Knight back from the graveyard, so you can set up your combos that way. So you need this card as part of the FTK. That's it for the Gem Knight monsters. So for this one, you've got Gem Armadillo. It sucks that this name isn't Gem Knight, because obviously you can't search it off. Phantom Quartz, a lot of the fusions you can't make with this guy because he doesn't have Knight in the name, sadly, but he is a Stratos for the deck, so if you summon him, you get to search 1 Gem Knight monster from your deck and add it to your hand, so you can search essentially whatever combo piece that you're missing, really. Oh, my favourite monster! I love this card so much. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that.
Rescue Rabbit.
Yeah, Rescue Rabbit.
That's how you say it.
In German. I love it. This card, like Gem Knights, couldn't really do much before the new Link monster, and also this guy was at 1, so you couldn't turbo out those normal monsters. Now he's back at 3. This guy is just insane. Like, if you open with this and say a Gem Knight monster, maybe Block Dragon, that's pretty much game. It's such a good card. And then this guy is a non-Gem Knight, but 3 Block Dragon.
Not Lego Dragon.
No, but this guy, oh my goodness, like this and Rescue Rabbit, even though it's a Gem Knight deck, these are the best cards in the deck. Like, I see some deck profiles running this at 2 because they say you don't want to draw it, which everyone's preference is, it's up to you, but if I want to draw this card, I want to see it, whether this is in my graveyard or in my hand, I need to see this card straight away because this gets you game. And then the last monster is the 1 Crystal Rose. Technically, it's the only way you can make Seraph Knight because it's a light attribute, but you do need this as part of your FTK combo, but it's not essential. It just makes it easier if you've got it. You don't have to go about your combo the longer way then. So that's it for the monsters. I think that's 22 monsters. Onto the spells. 3 Brilliant Fusion. Again, this deck won't function without this and Gem Knight Fusion. They're the reason it's so good. I don't think it needs sort of explaining. I know this card is sort of broken in a lot of other decks. There aren't Gem Knights that use it, but I hope this card doesn't get banned because I need it.
Should be scuppered then.
3 Gem Knight Fusion. Again, this makes all your combo plays possible as well. You could technically run this at 2 because Phantom Quartz can search it, but I like to maximize on it for consistency. So if I draw this, it means I can search a different Gem Knight monster off Phantom Quartz. 2 Unexpected Die. I was running this at 3 just for like maximum sort of consistency on first turn, but if you draw multiples, you can't activate the second one, so 2 feels like the right amount. 2 desires. Resolved it twice in one game once, and don't ever want to do a third one.
I was going to say, good God.
But yeah, it helps your consistency for drawing what you need. 2 Cosmic Cyclone. This is like a weird one because you think if it's a combo deck, why would you run stuff for back row if you want to FTK? But if you get interrupted or your combo doesn't go off, you can do FTKs or OTKs in different ways. So you could do it by battle damage, and you want to make sure if that's the case, someone hasn't got things like Torrential, Bottomless, because the recent ban list, both of those cards went back to 3. So just sometimes to make sure you don't get hit by any of those, just 2 of those. And then the one-offs, I'll put these across. So I got Foolish Burial, amazing card this. You want to send ideally Block Dragon off this, but you can send like a Lazuli to search if you've already got your Block Dragon play. 1 for 1. This is subbing in for the 3rd Unexpected Die because you can... It's really good in this deck, and I don't see anyone running it because you can send 1 monster from your hand to the graveyard, special summon level 1 from your deck. So you could send a Block Dragon, you could send Obsidian, you could gain their effects off that, and then special summon as an extra as well. Soul Charge, because this card is like the win button, essentially. Like, if you get all your stuff interrupted, it doesn't matter, you bring it all back and just finish the FTK that way. Monster Reborn.
Gotta have it now.
Because it's Monster Reborn.
Yeah. I mean, come on.
1 Raigeki and 1 Dark Hole, because if you go second, or if you lose the way you could look at this, you could run this in a side deck if you go second, but I've noticed in Yu-Gi-Oh! Today, the dice roll is so important, and if you lose that dice roll, you want something to back up, because a lot of the times people like going first, so if you've got something to answer them, if you lose the dice roll, it just helps, and these don't really clog because they're not bad cards to draw, regardless. Ooh.
So 0 traps.
0 traps. You don't need traps.
You don't like your cards for this trap cards, do you?
Generally? No, I feel they slow the game down a little bit. Extra deck. So Phantom Quartz. This guy is nuts. Like, Gem Knights would not be possible without this guy. I mean, he's got perfect link zones or link markers. The fact he lets you search any Gem Knight card, and then obviously you can fusion summon for like the cost of 1,000 life points. It's just ridiculous. Like, we can show you the combo with him later, but this guy, insane. 1 Proxy Dragon and 1 Mrs. Radiant. Proxy Dragon is actually really, really good because say your opponent has locked you out of the extra monster zone if they go first, you can still do the FTK if you've got Proxy Dragon because you can open up the left and right link markers, so you can summon, you can open up another 2 zones as well. And then Mrs. Radiant because you need her as part of the initial FTK, but she can beef up all your earth monsters as well, which is pretty much every Gem Knight in the deck. 3 of my favourite fusion. So you got Gem Knight Master Diamond, so obviously this guy, can't see him that close there. Ooh, that's nice.
Shiny.
He's really cool because he can recycle effects, so you essentially need this to recycle Lapis Lazuli's effect to win you the game, basically. You only need to resolve it twice, but I run the 3rd because it does sometimes come up if you don't get the FTK. And then obviously what makes it all happen is this one, Lapis Lazuli. Obviously, if you're not aware, she burns your opponent for 500 damage for every special summon monster on the field. So the idea is you get 6 out, burn them for 3k, and then you use Master Diamond to recycle her effect, and then you just keep rinse repeating. That's why Master Diamond abuses this, because she can only be summoned once per turn, but he copies her effect, so you get around it that way. 2 Zirconia, he's like a vanilla beta, but you could run it at 1, but in all honesty, it's the easiest Gem Knight to summon. You can use like Armadillo for him because it only requires a rock monster as well as a Gem Knight, so he's the easiest to summon by far. And then the 1Rs, we got Lady Brilliant Diamond, Gem Knight Prismora, Gem Knight Topaz, and Seraph Knight. Seraph Knight, you don't really make her, but she's like there because it can really help you when you need to do that combo. And these 2, Prismora and Topaz, the ones I was talking about, they are much better fusions with Tourmaline than Garnet's fusions, because this he can clear and pop a card. This guy lets you attack twice and deal burn damage. So he reminds me of like the old Flame Wingman, I think it was, for elemental heroes, where you could like burn for direct damage. And then Brilliant Diamond, she's a massive beat stick at 34k. 34k? Yeah, 3400. But also she lets you take games with her effect as part of your FTK as well. But that is the main deck. And also, did you want to say something there?
I was going to say, yeah, now it's FTK time. Now
It is FTK
shows how it's
time.
done.
I'm seeing on a lot of videos, a lot of people want to know what the FTK is, and some people don't actually show people in depth on how to actually do it. So what we will do, we will put this deck now, and we will show you how to do the FTK. Okay, so to do your FTK, there are literally loads of different ways that you can go about it. There's so many different sort of combo card combinations. In all honesty, the one that I feel is the easiest to show on camera would be starting with one of these in hand. So has to be Brilliant Fusion, and it can be any Gem Knight. I just, for the sake of this, I just picked this one up, this first one. So you only need these 2 cards. So start with this. So Gem Knight Tourmaline, I'll just leave this here. This is going to be in your hand, so we'll just leave that there a sec. So what you're going to do, you're going to activate Brilliant Fusion. So you're going to fuse for basically Zirconia by sending materials from your deck to the graveyard. So you're going to send... Block Dragon has to be one of the materials, and then you can send any Gem Knight. Let's just send another Tourmaline because he's there. Put the deck down there. So I'll leave these like there. This is like the graveyard, I would say. Let's try and leave it there. So we've resolved Brilliant Fusion, we've summoned him, so he's going to go in the link zone. So we got Zirconia in the link zone. And then you're going to, let's move this down. You're going to normal summon the Tourmaline that you had in your hand. You're going to tribute these 2. Then you're going to link away for Phantom Quartz. So Phantom Quartz was link summoned. He's going to allow you to search 1 Gem Knight card from your deck. We're going to search Gem Knight Fusion. So Gem Knight Fusion will stay in our hand for now. Then we're going to dig through our graveyard, and we've got the Block Dragon we sent from earlier. So we can special summon him back from your hand or graveyard by banishing 3 Earth monsters, which we have in the graveyard right now. So we're going to banish 3, just put those away. Summon him. It doesn't matter where you put this guy for now, because he's not going to stay on the board for too long. We're going to use Phantom Quartz's effect by paying 1,000 life points. We're going to target the 3 banished monsters that we've got. These can be in your graveyard, but for now they are banished. You can use those as well. You put them back into the respective decks. So we put those back into our decks. And you summon 1 Gem Knight monster from your extra deck with those materials. So we sent back 3 Gem Knights. So we're going to do a Lady Brilliant Diamond. Immediately after summoning her, you're going to use her own effect. So she can tribute 1 Gem Knight on the field to basically summon another fusion from your extra deck, ignoring its summoning condition. So she's going to go to the graveyard, and we're going to summon Master Diamond. But it's very important that you send Lady Brilliant first and don't go straight to Master Diamond, because you need this later on in your graveyard ready. So we've got Phantom Quartz, we've got Block Dragon, we've got Gem Knight, Master Diamond, we've got a Brilliant Diamond in the graveyard. So don't worry about Brilliant Fusion, this is already resolved. Then we're going to tribute these 2 away. And we're going to go for Mrs. Radiant in the opposite link zone. So obviously this is based off going first. As said, there is a combo if they've locked you out of that zone, but just for now we'll go for this. Go for Mrs. Radiant in the other zone. Now, Block Dragon was sent from the field to the graveyard when you link summon for Mrs. Radiant, which means you can search 3 rock monsters from your deck which equal 8 stars. They have to be 8 stars. So Crystal Rose, that you have to get this one. This is 2 stars. Obsidian, that's 3. And Gem Knight Lapis, so 3, 3, 2, that's 8. So you've equaled 8. These go to your hand with the Gem Knight Fusion that you previously searched off of Phantom Quartz. Then you're going to use the Gem Knight Fusion, and you're going to fuse Lapis with Crystal Rose. So they go to the graveyard, as does your fusion. And you can search like any of the like basic ones at the moment. So we'll go for another Zirconia there. Put him there. So we've still got the Obsidian in hand that we searched. Then we're going to use Crystal Rose's effect in the graveyard. So you can banish one fusion monster to special summon this card back from the graveyard, which is why it was important we had Brilliant Diamond there in the first place. So we banish Brilliant Diamond, special summon back Crystal Rose. You have to put it in this zone because you can't afford to use... You could technically put it there, but you don't want to use your other link marker zone. So these go back. These are still in the graveyard. Then you use the secondary effect of Crystal Rose. So you can send one Gem Knight from your deck to the graveyard, and it copies that monster's name for the rest of the turn. So you want to send Gem Knight Lazuli to the graveyard. So she's just hit the graveyard up there, as you can see. And this copies that name. So this card has done all it needs to do now. So Gem Knight Lazuli, because it was sent to the graveyard off a card effect from Crystal Rose, you get to add one normal Gem Knight monster from your graveyard to your hand. So we are going to add back Lapis to hand. So now we have Obsidian and Lapis in hand. We are then going to activate the effect of Gem Knight Fusion in the graveyard by banishing one Gem Knight. So you could do Phantom Court or Lazuli, it doesn't matter. We'll do the Lazuli we just sent, and we add this back to hand. So as you can see there, we've got these three cards below in hand. Then we're going to use the Gem Knight Fusion, fusing Obsidian and Lapis. So they go to the graveyard, as does this. And we summon Lapis Lazuli in the extra zone. That's why I said it's important not to take up the zone with this, so you need this monster there. Now that Obsidian was sent to the graveyard by a card effect when you fused with Gem Knight Fusion, you can special summon one normal monster from the graveyard. So we're going to summon the Gem Knight Lapis that we just sent. So now we've got the established board. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 monsters. We're going to use Lapis Lazuli's effect to send one Gem Knight from your extra deck or deck to the graveyard, and then you burn your opponent for 500 for each special summon monster. So it's very important you send another, let me just leave this at the top, you send another Lapis Lazuli to the graveyard. So we've just burned our opponent for 3000. Now we use Master Diamond's effect to banish the Gem Knight Lazuli that we just used. Now he copies her effect. So once again, you send one Gem Knight from your extra deck or deck to the graveyard. In this case, it doesn't matter. Let's just send any random one. I don't know. Another Obsidian. It really doesn't matter. There we go. We've burnt our opponent for another 3000. 6k. They have 2000 life points left. We go to our graveyard again. We want Gem Knight Fusion back. We banish any Gem Knight. You've got a lot in there now, so it doesn't matter. And you add this back to your hand. So we add this back, we activate it again, and we fuse Lazuli, Lapis, and Zirconia for another Master Diamond. We use the effect of Master Diamond to banish the Lazuli that we just special summoned. Send one monster, again, doesn't matter, you're only using it as part of the effect. And we burn our opponent for 1000, 2000 prior to the 6k we just dealt. That's 8000 damage in one turn.
And there we are.
And that's the combo. That's the easiest way of doing it. There's a lot of other combinations that you can do, including Proxy Dragon if you've been locked out of this zone. But that is a really long-winded combo, which I won't go into.
But what I'll say is, if people want to see that, tell us below. Tell us if you want to see the longer way of doing things or ways of getting, because you said there was a way in which, like, if their link monster was in a place. So
off the top of my head, there's about 6 or 7 different combinations. So I'd be more than happy to show you every single one if you want to see them.
Not now, but we can ask them if they want to see it. Yeah. Do say so below. We'll if there's enough people interested, we'll probably do that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Said we'll probably get some comments about it's
there's always some
it's
comments.
degenerate. But no, in all honesty, any feedback? Do you like FTKs? Do you think they're healthy for the game? Are they not healthy? Do you like Gem Knights? Do you dislike them? I know Pendulums have their own FTK as well, so it's always a sort of talking point. But in all honesty, the deck is just so much fun to play. I really, really enjoy it.
Oh, there you go. Thank you very much for showing us that. Also, I want to say thank you to everybody who watched our last video. That was a lot of people. That was a lot of people, mate. We pretty much almost doubled our subscribers numbers, which is madness. But yeah, if you haven't, watched it, go watch it. Like 50,000 people have, which is cool. Really, really cool. And good for us small little YouTubers. But if you haven't, please do subscribe, like, and do comment down below there. Tell us, do you want to see the longer play? That's the word I'm going to use.
The longer combos.
The longer combos. But until next time, it's goodbye from me.
And peace out from me, guys.
See ya.